Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video day, and we're going to be talking about a potential trade for the Houston Rockets that I could see the Rockets doing. I don't know if I doubt it will happen, but it's just a potential trade target. It's someone who just faced the Rockets tonight and will face them again on Saturday with the OKC Thunder. And I think there are a lot of trade targets there are a lot of teams that are going after, and his name is Kenrich Williams. I like this kid. He's a good defensive player. He's a big impact player, good shooter, and I just really love him on the Houston Rockets. And I'm going to go over some potential trades that I would like the Rockets to make in following moves that I think would, kind of set their roster a little bit up for the next season. Let's go over it. So the Rockets going into this year's trade deadline definitely are going to be trading Eric Gordon and possibly be trading KJ Martin. Personally, in my opinion, I'd trade KJ Martin. I like KJ Martin. He's a great player. He's had a great season, but he's an expiring contract. He already requested a trade in the offseason last season, and I just don't see him returning to the Houston Rockets. I'm not saying he's unhappy here because I think he's having a good season. I just don't see him returning. I see him getting some money from someone else. So I seek the opportunity to trade him, and I take it. And his trade value is pretty high right now, probably. I mean, I know that he's an expiring contract, but with the way he's playing, and you can probably get a first-round pick for him. I would bet that you could probably get a first-round pick for KJ Martin. And then you add Eric Gordon with him. I wouldn't say you could get two, but I could say you could probably get a first-round pick and multiple seconds for the two. But here's a three-team trade that I would do that would send Eric Gordon and KJ Martin out. So the Rockets would receive Grayson Allen. Well, it's a three-team trade between the Rockets, the Suns, and the Bucks. The Bucks to get the guy they want so badly in Jay Crowder. Also, due to salary reasons, they would also get Boban Marjanovic. I know I would be very sad too, but for contract reasons, we'd have to give the Boban to the Bucks. But he's an expiring contract too, and he's barely playing, so that's fine. But a lot of people would, including me, would be very upset about this. And then the Suns would receive Eric Gordon and KJ Martin, two guys that they are very interested in. And then the Rockets would receive three players. Two, I don't really see them keeping, but one I do think they would keep. Grayson Allen, great player, been having a great season, great shooter. Shooting is what the Rockets need to improve on, and a movement shooter like Grayson Allen is a great player to add into this Houston Rockets team. I know people don't, I made a couple of videos about Grayson Allen, and people said, oh, well, I don't want the Rockets to trade for him because, he's a player to be very aggressive and, not aggressive, some of his hard fouls that have, almost hurt players. I think Alex Caruso was one of them. I mean, that's just an aggressive player, and I think, he has made some dirty plays, but and people talk about his temper. Honestly, it's kind of like basketball in the 90s and the old days in the 80s and 90s, that was aggressive basketball. Grayson Allen is, kind of feels like a player from the 90s. He's someone who's very aggressive, and honestly, I don't mind bringing him in, even if, he's a little aggressive, and I don't think that's only happened a couple times, and I'll take the chance because he is a great shooter, and the Rockets desperately need shooting. Now, here, two of these next players are really contracts, fillers. I would see the Rockets probably keeping one of the two and would probably keep Saric. So you received Dario Saric from Phoenix. I like Saric. He's a good player. Just don't like the fit on the Rockets. Probably won't play a lot. Maybe get in a couple games. Who knows? Also, George Hill from the Bucks. The Rockets would probably just cut him, send him to free agents as a free agent, let him sign with the contender or wherever he wants to go. So George Hill. Then the Rockets would get a 2023 first-round pick from Phoenix, probably be in the area of 18 to 24, something like that. So another first-round pick for the Houston Rockets this season. The Rockets getting first-round picks, it gives them in a good position to possibly trade up in this year's draft. So, not a huge trade up, but Rockets got a couple first-round picks if they do this trade. They have a first-round pick from Milwaukee already. That's going to be around, 28 to 26 or something like that. And then you have, if you do this trade, you have a first round pick from Phoenix. So maybe use your pick from Phoenix and Milwaukee, both teams that are included in this trade, and you trade up. Who knows? That's just an idea for the Houston Rockets. And so then you receive a first rounder and those 3 players, and then you receive 2 second-round picks. Don't know the years, though. So I like that trade for the Rockets. But now, here's where Kenrich Williams comes into the game. So with KJ going out and Gordon going out, Tari Eason becomes a starter for the Rockets. Lineup looks like this. KPJ at the 1, Jalen at the 2, the 3 Jabari, the 4 Tari, the 5 LP. Grayson Allen off the bench. And Tate off the bench as well. Now, I'd like the Rockets to add in another, good forward for Tate to, be paired with off the bench. And I think Kenrich Williams is a great guy. He's a good shooter. He's a good defensive player. And Rockets can get him for cheap. Of the cost of, for salary matchup, on the even, the Rockets would trade Garrison Matthews. And I love Garrison Matthews, but rather have Kenrich Williams and Garrison Matthews any other day. And then the Rockets would trade 2 second-round picks. One would be the Rockets' own second-round pick for 2024, and then the other second-round pick would be a second-round pick that the Rockets would get from Phoenix. So the Rockets used one of those picks that they got from Phoenix to help them land Kenrich Williams. From there on, Rockets' rotation looks like this: point guard KPJ, shooting guard Jalen Green, small forward Jabari, or other way around, small forward Tari, power forward Jabari. Center LP, off the bench, you have 6th man Grayson Allen, 7th man Jae'Sean Tate, 8th man Kenrich Williams, and then also other players off the bench. Whoever's playing this backup center role, whether it's Bruno Fernando or Usman Garuba, and then Josh Christopher. I love this for the Rockets. Obviously, this doesn't make them into – they're still really bad, but I think this turns the Rockets into a better team going into the 2023-24 season. I mean, it's incredibly good to add in Kenrich Williams and Grayson Allen, 2 good players to this Rocket squad, and I actually would really love it. Then you potentially add in Victor Wembanyama in the next season and add him to that star-studded starting lineup for the Houston Rockets, and possibly send Tari Eason back to the bench and add him with Kenrich and Jae'Sean, and then still have Grayson Allen. So I'd love the Rockets team if you do these 2 trades and add in Grayson Allen, Kenrich Williams, and then another first-round pick for the Houston Rockets. And then a bunch of seconds for the Rockets to, like I said, you trade one of them to OKC for Kenrich. And when it comes to getting that deal done with the OKC, I don't think it'd be hard at all. I mean, 2 second-round picks and a good shooter in Garrison Matthews, I don't think it's hard to get that deal done. I mean, OKC, even though they're getting better and they're starting to win more games, I still think they want a hell ton of picks. And 2 second-round picks, they can use those picks and flip them. So I think they like those 2 second-round picks. So they get those second-round picks, and then also Garrison Matthews is a good shooter. So I don't think the Thunder would reject that trade. Both players are on 2-year contracts, and then they get 2 second-round picks. So I don't think they reject that deal. I doubt that this happens. I can see that 3-team trade happening. I can really see that 3-team trade happening because I don't think the Rockets would want to say no to Grayson Allen, and even if he's not playing this rotation, Saric, and then a first-round pick and probably 2 or 3 second-round picks. I don't see the Rockets saying no to that. So I definitely, if everybody's on agreement in that trade, I could see the Rockets doing that, but I just don't know. I mean, it's never been reported that the Rockets have interest in Kenrich Williams. I just see the fit for the Rockets for potentially trading for Kenrich Williams if you trade KJ. If you're going to keep KJ, there's no point of trading for Kenrich. I mean, if you keep KJ, here's a scenario. If you keep KJ, you trade Gordon. KJ becomes into the starting lineup with Jabari instead of Tari. Then you have Tari and Jae'Sean off the bench. There's no need for Kenrich. So the only reason you should trade for Kenrich Williams is if KJ's gone. And I do think the Rockets should trade KJ. Do they do it? I don't know. That's a hard decision. But that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the Rockets potentially trading for Kenrich Williams and potentially landing a 3-team trade that would send a first-round pick and 2 or 3 seconds and 3 players, including Grayson Allen, Dario Saric, and George Hill, to the Houston Rockets for Eric Gordon and KJ Martin. I love that deal for the Rockets right there, though. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out. Go Rockets.